Cancer, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early to mid-July 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Cancerians. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic in your season, my friends. Let's get it going, my guides. Talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Cancer collective in early to mid-July? What energies, messages, insights can we pull for our good friends? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Cancer in early to mid-July, please and thank you. And yeah, while we get this card flying out, I just want to again wish you all a very happy birthday from me to you, whether it's just passed or whether it's still coming up. I hope you have a fantastic birthday. Okay, so I've been seeing this card show up for a few different signs. I think Libra might have had it this week as well, and this is a big card about appearances. In one form or another. This can also be a very confident card, but there's a duality to it because it could be really, really good and positive, but at the same time, you might want to watch out. But before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the July subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more about this card. So we see this lovely lady in that big blue dress. She has a wig on and she is looking in a mirror. She is surrounded by mirrors as well within that room. So the first thing I always think of is looks, aesthetics, how you present yourself to the world. So for some Cancerians out there, maybe you're switching up the wardrobe, maybe you're changing your look in one way or another, maybe you're focused on fitness in this time or health when this card is here, which is always a good thing. I always say that this could be reminiscent of the Queen of Wands because this is a very confident, beautiful, sexy type of card as well. Now, for some of you, hopefully you're not feeling less confident in this time. It could always swing both ways, but the challenge with this card is, I'm sure you noticed that this lady, she's kind of a little self-obsessed, right? She's looking in that mirror. She's surrounded by mirrors. So there's a little warning here about ego. Now, I'm not saying it's your ego or anything like that. This could just represent an egotistical person around you. And if that's the case, if there is somebody around you that's a little egotistical, you might want to keep them at arm's length in this time because you might clash more than normal. So we'll just leave it at that. Let's get into tarot now. And I always say the first card here, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. Let's get you 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the beautiful Cancerians in their birthday season, please. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. And it was titled A Big Offer. Lots of ace energy, so offers, opportunities, new things, new ventures. And I was really loving the energy that you had last week. Even the past few weeks, there was a lot of promise in the energy. So we're going to hope to keep that streak going, right? You know, energies could bleed over from week to week. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're connected to. Let's get it going. 3 cards for the Cancerians here early to mid-July, right? So hopefully we're going to get some nice energies going for you. What do we got? Thank you. Okay, Lady Justice is in the mix. Okay, so we might have the karmic energy, which I've been seeing around all the water signs in recent times, except for you guys. But hey, she's showing up. Okay, we'll talk about it. It's a very powerful card. Let's get 2 more. Thank you. Page of Swords, lots of air sign energy. Okay, we'll get 1 more out here, then we'll really piece this all together. Page of Swords is really closely inspecting something. So I would say for a lot of Cancerians in this time, maybe you have a very good eye for detail in this time, like the fine details and the 5 of Pentacles. It seems like a lot of people are getting this 5 of Pentacles this week, so you're not alone with that. Okay, so I'm feeling pretty neutral about what we're seeing already. It's definitely a bit of a shift from what we saw last week, but let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. So at first glance, elementally, yeah, we're a little air heavy here with Lady Justice, Page of Swords. We have some earth in the mix. So it is that nice balance of the outer world and the inner world. Now with all this sword heavy energy, there could be a lot on your mind. Swords always stress the importance of communication, but also the mind state and mindset. So I really want to look into this further. So let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out. So position number one, we do have Lady Justice. Now, as I mentioned, she's a very powerful card. For a portion of you, it might be connected to a Libra. So any prominent Libra in your life could be highlighted at this time. Now, Lady Justice could mean a whole bunch of different things. I would say she could represent legal situations, legal matters. If you're dealing with official documents, signing contracts, signing leases, anything that's in the legal realm, pay extra close attention to it, especially with the page watching the whole situation. Okay, that's first and foremost. Now, she is a card of balance and equality. So there might be a situation where you're like, all right, well, I wish this was made right, or I want to make this right. It is literal justice. It is also the biggest karmic card, so the universe balancing the scales in one way or another. Now, karma could be seen in a variety of different ways. You could write books on the subject, and it could be you reap what you sow, what you put forth, you do get back. It could also represent the cycles of life. So when we start seeing karmic energies, they're very powerful and possible life-altering type of energy. So we're not going to simplify it too much. We'll just leave it at that for now and check in on Lady Justice in a moment. Now, over to the center, we do have the Page of Swords. So again, air sign energy. So Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. And I always say with all pages, they represent new ventures, new things, learning. So they are students, but at the same time, they could be communication. Now, out of all the pages, this one is a little bit defensive. In this time, the Cancerians might be extra defensive. You might have your guard up about something. You might be a little skeptical of people and different things in this time with the Page of Swords. And yeah, we could just be looking at a talk, a conversation that might come up, and we'll look into it deeper. But the biggest thing with the Page of Swords is that it's the watcher of the tarot deck. It's scrutinizing something. So you might be scrutinizing a situation, scrutinizing a person, keeping a very close eye. Something is under the magnifying glass. Now, that could also go your way too. So just know there might be someone that has eyes on. This has been a common card this week as well. So there's a lot of people watching. Right? There's a lot of people watching different things, but not quite acting just yet. Now, we'll talk about that page more in a moment. Moving to the very back end, we do have the Five of Pentacles. Now, this card is not the smoothest, nicest type of energy. And remember, I always say that this card splits in two different ways. It could be strictly monetarily and speak about money and work and business, but at the same time, it could also represent one's emotions. Because although this is earth energy, it's a very emotional card. And as a water sign myself, I know that we feel things on a deeper level. So with the Five of Pentacles, you might be feeling a little bit of lonesomeness. There might be someone that you're missing. There might be someone that's missing you when this card is here. I always say all cards are on a spectrum, right? They're not all major life-altering cards. Some of them can be, but not all of them are. So this could just be having a few gloomy days. You might be a little glum. You might be a little down. But at the same time, this could be someone that's feeling abandoned. This could be someone that's feeling isolated or alone or upset if we're talking about emotions. Now, when we're talking about money, Spirit might be telling you like, hey, save up your pentacles or focus on your pentacles a little more. This could be someone who's upset with a work situation as well. So you see how all these cards could go in a variety of different directions. And we'll look and see because, yeah, these are the overarching themes, but we want to see what the clarifiers have to say. So let's dive deeper on it all. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for my Cancer friends. See what's happening. And gods, what's going on? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot. Because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation. And I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on Lady Justice here. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Cancer, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Lady Justice time. What's happening? Why is the deck is acting funny? Why is Lady Justice here? There we go. Thank you. Ooh, Five of Wands. Okay, so in this time, if there is any situation that you deem as unfair, not right, unjust, that is going to really spike your, I don't want to say anger, but it's going to spike your aggression. I feel in this time for a lot of Cancerians, you might be a little hotter than you normally are. You might be a little more temperamental than you normally are when I see this alignment here. For a lot of you, you could really be working on yourself or trying to keep yourself calm as well. Like that's a big thing I see here. But when I see the Five of Wands, aside from those first messages, you see the card. You don't have to be an expert to understand these people are beating each other down, right? They're all going to battle. So for some Cancerians in this time, there might be some sort of conflict that you're going through, or just something that you're fighting to make right. You want to make something right. You want to make something fair and balanced. And you're willing to put some effort in to make that happen when I see this, because this is a card of determination as well. However, some of you might be trying to avoid getting sucked into other people's drama. That could be another thing as well. So like very much like, okay, I'm gonna be over here. I don't want to be involved with that. So just know in this time there is a possibility for you to get pulled into other people's stuff. Very peculiar. We're going to keep moving though. I'm not going to sink too much time into it. It's not the major karmic energy that I was predicting initially, but we'll see how it all plays. Another thing I have to mention, we have double fives already. Fives in numerology represent rapid change, very similar to a tower. So we'll see if we have any change happening in the mix, because I am feeling a very intense energy, and we'll talk about this more at the recap. So let's go in on that Page of Swords. Why is the Page of Swords here? Thank you. Whoa. Okay. All right, you in this time, and I am feeling the aggression, my friends. Even if you feel like you're calm and serene, like just the way other people might perceive you is more aggressive than you normally are. Okay, we have the Chariot, which is your card here, and this is very much giving me a let's go. I will say this, for some of you, you do have a very fiery, explosive communication style in this time. Even if you're a little reserved, even if you're a bit of a shy individual, there is a possibility for an explosive talk or conversation, whether it's a conversation that pops in out of nowhere and you weren't expecting to have it, or you addressing something. Because notice this page is looking at all this stuff happening here. I feel like for some of you there can be like, listen, I'm going to tell it to you, I'm going to tell it to you straight. It just feels a very fiery talk or conversation. So I could expect that to happen. Now the Chariot, aside from being your card, is also determined. It's very forward movement. It's chariots were made as an instrument of war, right? So I don't feel the Cancerians backing down from much in this time. I feel you guys saying like, let's go, more like Aries type of energy, what I'm picking up from you this week, Cancer. So just take that for what it's worth. You might have to try to calm yourself. It just feels very fiery. And if that's the case, if you are feeling more temperamental than normal, you might need some sort of vent to get that energy out, right? You might need to get it out in one way or another. I think physical activity could be great for a lot of you in this time. Let's move over to the Five of Pentacles. But again, yeah, that very explosive talking style. Okay, so whether it's someone that sparks you off or a conversation that pops in out of nowhere, it's here. So let's go in on that Five of Pentacles, and we'll do our quick recap before we get into the shadow. So what's going on with that Five of Pentacles? Okay. Magician in reverse, huh? Okay. So for a portion of you, and again, this doesn't have to be your energy, there could be somebody, or you could be helping. Again, I said this in the beginning, you might get pulled into other people's stuff. There might be a situation from someone around you where there's not much you could do for them. Okay, so just know that something like that could arise in this time where it's like, I wish I could. I wish I could help you out. I wish there was something I could do, but my hands are kind of tied here. It's like giving me that kind of energy. Magician in reverse, generally a card of manifesting and creating, and it is a card of control, right? Like this is the master of all elements, really controlling a destination. In reverse, underneath the Five of Pentacles, it's more like, I wish I could help, but I really can't. There's only so much I could do here. So especially in this time, watch like the mood fluctuations. That's really huge in this time, like going from the anger to the sads and everything in between. But again, I saw it in the beginning, the fact that there could be a proclivity to get pulled into other people's stuff, other people's issues and problems, but there might not be much you could do. So don't be surprised if that's something you're not going through right now. Something could pop up where it's like, okay, well, I'll talk to you, I'll be a shoulder to lean on, but there's really not much I could do about this situation. I could if I would, but I can't. It's like giving me that. So very peculiar. Let's go through and do a quick recap before we get into the shadow card, because a lot of energies that I haven't been seeing for you started popping up this week. So there could be some choppy waters for some of you, but if you kindly look in the box, position number 1, we do have Lady Justice with the 5 of Wands in the upright. Again, I'm just going to mention it. There might be a possibility for you to get pulled into other people's stuff. I also feel if there is something going on that you feel like it's unfair, unjust, or not right, that is really going to get the temper going more so than normal. Okay, there's a strong sense of justice here. Moving to the center, we have the Page of Swords with the Chariot and the upright. Yeah, other people might be viewing you as more aggressive than you're meaning, so just keep that in mind. Like, you might be coming off as more aggressive than you mean to. And I do get this explosive conversation or talk happening, whether it is someone popping in out of nowhere and having a talk you weren't expecting, or this is just you, just like, boom, someone lights the fuse and you're just going. So that's something to watch out for. Moving to the back end, we have the 5 of Pentacles with the Magician in reverse. I did say there could be things popping up that there's not much you could really do about it. Like, you could if you would, but it's like, yeah, I mean, there's not much I could do here. So that it is what it is. So yeah, Cancer, please take a screenshot of that. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. And I did say a big thing I was picking up is emotional fluctuation in this time, and having an outlet for these energies. Specifically, like physical activity could be really good to get this energy out. Let's get a shadow card. And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. It could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And if you've made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this shadow card going. Thank you. Nice and quick. All right, the Death card, do not be nervous about that Death card. It's more like Scorpio energy, change-based, transformative, and again, karmic. Okay, so if you're not connected to Scorpio, when I see this card, I don't always think about endings. Now, for a portion of you, yeah, maybe there's an ending that's still sticking with you, that's still in the energy for one reason or another. But the main thing I always think of with the Death card is a phoenix rising from the ashes, something being reborn or remade anew. So this could be a really good card and a positive card, although it's not the easiest energy to really cope with. So for some of you, yeah, this could really speak about some imminent change coming into your life. Okay, so whether it is internal or within your current situations, when a Death card shows up in the shadows, it's kind of like Spirit giving you a heads up, like, hey, Cancer, there's some big changes on the horizon. Now, life is about perpetual change. Things are always shifting, but this one could be a major one. So just keep that in mind, okay? So whether it is an outlook or a situation in general, the Death card could be seen as positive, right? Because generally what comes after this is a beautiful thing. It's that phoenix rising. So Cancer, that's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give the details of the July subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The link is down below. But for the July subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of another one of my favorite decks, the Wizard's Tarot. Absolutely beautiful and works great. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, since I have the travel bug lately, let me know down in the comments what is the most beautiful place you visited in person. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.